Stop everything you're doing and take this in. Tonight, before you sleep, instead of reaching for your phone, do exactly what Joseph Murphy recommended. This is the most powerful technique for anyone wanting rapid results. I challenge you to try this one forgotten method from Joseph Murphy for just 7 nights. If your life doesn't begin to shift, you can walk away. But I seriously doubt that will happen. Now, think about this. How many nights have you spent endlessly scrolling, filling your mind with anxiety, meaningless images, and news that only reinforces fear and scarcity? And on how many of those nights did you lie in bed wishing your life were different, only to wake up the next day in the exact same spot, with the same bills, the same problems, the same fears? Isn't this precisely what traps so many people in a never-ending cycle of frustration? Joseph Murphy discovered something that few have dared to apply with discipline. The moment just before you fall asleep is the secret gateway to your subconscious mind. And that is where the miracle unfolds. Because as you drift off, it's not just your body that rests. It's your conscious mind lowering its guard, allowing new programming to be installed at the deepest level. Picture your subconscious as fertile ground, ready to receive any seed you plant. The question is, what seeds have you been planting? Seeds of fear or of abundance? Of failure or of achievement? What if I told you that by applying this forgotten technique, you would be watering the right seed every single night? Not through struggle, not through force, but with a gentle, almost magical surrender. Joseph Murphy believed that the subconscious mind was the secret vault where the power of creation was placed. Have you ever considered that perhaps the reason you haven't achieved what you desire is simply because you've been storing the wrong things in that vault? Pay close attention, because this insight could be the difference between staying in a loop of emotional insomnia and awakening to a life you never imagined possible. And I'll tell you more. The final revelation in this message is the most powerful of all, the one that will ignite a flame within you that may have been out for years. So stay focused, because every part of this is a piece of a puzzle. When they all fit together, you will see something you've never been able to see before. That your reality isn't fixed, it isn't a sentence, it isn't a prison. It is malleable, it is plastic, and your subconscious is the craftsman that shapes everything you experience. Now let me ask you, how many dreams have you given up on simply because you thought it was too late? How many times have you told yourself that you weren't worthy, that you weren't lucky, that life was unfair? What if all of that was just an illusion created by your subconscious, replaying old stories like a scratched record? And what if, by applying this technique tonight, you could start cutting a new record, a new song, where the lyrics speak of abundance, love, prosperity, and miracles? If you've made it this far, it's because something inside you knows this is no accident. It's because a part of you is tired of repeating the same patterns and is ready to experience the power of transformation. But be warned, this isn't an empty promise. I am not here to sell you illusions, but to show you how to access a real power that is already within you. You just need to know how to activate it. As you absorb this message, remember this. Every word you are hearing right now is already beginning to shape your subconscious. This means that if you stay with me until the end, you won't just learn Joseph Murphy's technique, you will experience it deep within, making it impossible to go back to being the same person. And before we move on, I want you to do something simple, but incredibly important. If you feel this content is awakening something in you, hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. This isn't just a gesture of support, it's a way of telling your subconscious mind, I am ready for a new reality. I choose to feed my mind with that which expands me. Because in the end, it doesn't matter how much you want to change if you don't plant in the right place, nothing will grow. And starting today, you will learn exactly how to plant in the most fertile soil in the universe, your subconscious mind. Have you ever noticed how the human mind seems to have a secret door that opens precisely in the instant you're about to fall asleep? During the day, your thoughts are racing, Your rational mind is trying to explain everything, and worries take up too much space. But when you lie down, something shifts. That space between wakefulness and sleep is like an invisible bridge connecting the conscious to the subconscious. It was in this exact moment that Joseph Murphy discovered one of the greatest secrets of manifestation. If you plant the right thought as you're falling asleep, your subconscious will work all night long to turn that thought into reality. Think of your subconscious as a tireless gardener. It doesn't argue with you. It doesn't doubt. It doesn't question. It simply accepts the seed you give it and does everything it can to make it bloom. If you hand it seeds of fear, of lack, of failure, it will grow exactly that, and without you realizing it, your life will reflect those choices. But if you dare to hand it a seed of abundance, of victory, of healing, or of love, that same gardener will use all its energy to bring it to life. The critical question is, what have you been offering your subconscious just before you drift off to sleep? Joseph Murphy's forgotten technique is all about capitalizing on this magical window. This isn't about repeating mechanical phrases or forcing yourself to believe something that you don't. It's about creating an image so vivid, so charged with emotion, that your subconscious has no choice but to accept it. Murphy taught that before you close your eyes to sleep, you must imagine your desire as already real. Not as a distant dream, but as an accomplished fact. You must feel the scene in full detail, the joy, the peace, the relief, the gratitude, as if it's a movie that's already playing, and you are the main character. And this is where so many people fail. Because instead of feeling the fulfillment, they feed the lack. They lie down thinking about debts, rejections, and failures. And the subconscious, ever faithful to what it receives, just replicates it. It's like asking the gardener to plant thorns when you wanted flowers. That's why Murphy said that the last thing that occupies your mind before sleep is the key that either locks or unlocks the doors of your life. Imagine for a moment, you desire prosperity. Instead of repeating, "I want money," you lie down and create the scene of already having received exactly what you need. You see yourself paying your bills with ease, breathing a sigh of relief, giving thanks with sincerity. You feel the freedom of not worrying about tomorrow. And as your body falls asleep, this scene remains alive on the stage of the subconscious, which begins to work like a silent architect to rearrange circumstances, opportunities, and meetings in your life. Joseph Murphy stated that this isn't superstition or magic, but a universal law. The subconscious acts according to the impressions it receives. It cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is imagined with feeling. To the subconscious, both are facts. Therefore, when you learn to feed this inner field with images of victory, you will inevitably see reflections of it in the outer world. But maybe you're wondering, why does this technique seem so simple, yet so few people apply it? The answer is clear. Because the human mind has become accustomed to complication. We are always looking for elaborate formulas when the secret has always been in the basics, in what we do every single day. Sleep. The difference is that now you will sleep consciously, turning the most ordinary moment into a portal of creation. And I know you might already be feeling some resistance. Perhaps a voice inside you is saying, "But I've tried everything. Nothing works for me." That voice is the exact echo of the wrong seeds planted for years. It's like arid land that seems to produce nothing. But if you insist on watering it consistently, sooner or later the sprouts will appear. Transformation doesn't come from desperate effort, but from calm, confident repetition. Joseph Murphy told true stories of people who used this technique and completely changed their lives. Men who were bankrupt and, within a few weeks, started attracting opportunities. Women who were suffering from diseases considered incurable and, by visualizing their healing before sleep, saw their bodies respond with health. Not because they were forcing anything, but because they gave their subconscious images so powerful that their bodies and their external reality had no choice but to correspond. Now reflect on this. What if you start today? What if you decide that the next 7 nights will be dedicated to reprogramming your mind with this forgotten technique? It costs nothing. It requires no effort beyond imagination and emotion. But not trying could cost you dearly, because every night wasted on worry is a lost chance to plant the future you wish to harvest. And this is where the great revelation I promised comes in. Many people believe they need to ask the subconscious, as if it's a favor or a plea. But the secret isn't in asking, it's in assuming. When you ask, you reinforce the absence of it. When you assume, you create. That is the difference between the mind that wishes and the mind that manifests. So, when you lie down tonight, do not say, "I want this." Say, with the full force of your imagination, "This is already mine." And feel the relief of someone who has already received it. That feeling is the password that opens the vault of the subconscious. Perhaps you're thinking, but what if I can't visualize anything? What if my mind is full of distractions? Murphy addressed this as well. He said the secret isn't to force perfect images, but to focus on the feeling. If you can't see it clearly, just feel it. The feeling is more powerful than the image, because it's what gives life to the scene. It is the feeling that convinces the subconscious that it is real, and the more you practice, the more natural it will become. Just like learning to ride a bike. It seems difficult at first, but then your body just knows what to do. The subconscious works the same way. It learns through habit, through repetition, until the new pattern becomes automatic. And here is a precious detail that almost no one talks about. While you sleep, it's not just your mind being programmed. Your body is responding too. If you fall asleep with feelings of peace, gratitude, and victory, your cells receive that command. Your heart rate calms, your breathing becomes harmonious, your immune system strengthens. You are not just creating a different future, you are transforming your present into health and balance. Now imagine the impact of this over 7 consecutive nights. Imagine how your energy will shift, how you will wake up feeling lighter, more confident, more alive. The external circumstances might not change overnight, but something inside of you changes instantly. And when the internal changes, the external has no choice but to adjust. And remember, the most powerful revelation isn't just the technique itself, but the awareness that you have the power to shape your life every single night. The moment before sleep is the pen with which you write the next chapter of your story. Do you want to keep writing pages of lack, fear, and frustration? Or are you ready to write a plot of abundance, love, and fulfillment? The decision is yours. But I dare you. Try it for 7 nights. Not 7 months, not 7 years, just 7 nights. Put Joseph Murphy's forgotten technique to the test. And when the signs start to appear, because they will appear, you will remember this moment and be grateful that you chose to believe. As you listen to me now, maybe something inside of you is already awakening. A spark that seemed to be out is beginning to glow again. And that spark is the memory that you were never a prisoner of what you've lived through. Never. The past has no power to decide what you will be tomorrow unless you keep planting the same seeds your subconscious has already accepted. This is why Joseph Murphy insisted, the hour of sleep is the most sacred portal of creation. There, between the conscious mind that fades and the subconscious that takes command, lies the opportunity to be reborn every night. Imagine what it would be like to wake up 7 days from now with the clear feeling that something has shifted. You might still open your eyes in the same room with the same walls, perhaps even with the same apparent problems. But inside, a new certainty will have sprouted, a serenity that says, I have the power to shape my life. I hold the key that so many have looked for in all the wrong places. That awareness alone changes everything, because when you believe deeply, you vibrate differently, and the universe responds to your vibration. Think of how many nights you've given over to chance, falling asleep burdened with fear, worries, and frustrations. Think of how many dreams were suffocated because, instead of planting hope, you planted doubt. But realize this, The past no longer matters. What matters is what you decide to plant today, tonight, in this moment. Because every time you close your eyes with the intention of feeding your subconscious with images of victory, you are creating a new future, even if it's not yet visible to the naked eye. And make no mistake, this technique isn't magic in the childish sense of the word. It's not about snapping your fingers and expecting everything to fall from the sky. It's about aligning your mind with the creative source, with the divine energy that Joseph Murphy called infinite intelligence. This force knows no limits, recognizes no impossibilities, is not intimidated by circumstances. It only responds to what you feed your mind. If you tell your subconscious, "I am abundant," and feel it with emotion, the infinite intelligence begins to move pieces that you could never arrange on your own. The right people show up, unexpected doors open, unlikely situations occur, and all of this happens without effort because it is not you who is doing it. It is life responding to the command you have given. Perhaps now you feel you're at a crossroads. Continue sleeping as you always have, letting your mind wander in the chaos of random thoughts, or use this moment as a sacred tool. The choice seems small, but it carries immense power. It's like the difference between using the right key or the wrong key in a lock. The door only opens if you use the key that fits. And that key is the forgotten technique of Joseph Murphy. I know that as you've listened, you've already started to imagine yourself applying it. Maybe you can even see yourself lying down tonight, turning off the lights, closing your eyes, and mentally constructing the scene of the future you desire. And in that instant, gratitude takes over, as if it has already happened. It is this emotion that gets imprinted. It is this emotion that paves the way. And when you repeat this for 7 nights, something inevitably begins to transform. And do you know the most fascinating part? Often, the change doesn't start with what you get, but with who you become. You start to walk lighter, to look at life with more hope, to react differently to challenges. And when you change on the inside, the world on the outside must follow. It's as if you are a magnet vibrating at a new frequency. Everything that doesn't match it starts to fall away, and everything that is in harmony draws closer. This is the law. This is the truth. But I must reinforce something. This practice is not about trying, it's about trusting. It's not about forcing, it's about feeling. It's not about asking, it's about assuming. You will not lie down asking, "I want prosperity," because that only reinforces lack. You will lie down silently affirming with your entire being, "I am prosperous, I am loved, I am whole, it is done." And by falling asleep in that state, you let go, you trust, you surrender. The subconscious accepts, the universe responds. So right now, I want to invite you to make a commitment to yourself. A simple commitment. 7 nights. 7 nights to faithfully apply Joseph Murphy's forgotten technique. 7 nights to plant, to water, and to trust. You have nothing to lose, but you have an entire lifetime to gain. And when you see the signs appearing, when the unexpected begins to align, you will remember that the transformation didn't start on the outside, but within you. And if this message has spoken to your heart, I want you to do one thing right now. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This is not just a symbolic gesture. It's an internal commitment that you choose to feed your mind with what expands, uplifts, and transforms. Never forget, your subconscious is the greatest treasure you possess. It is not outside of you. It doesn't depend on anyone else. It doesn't require superhuman effort. It is the most powerful part of you. And every night, as you lie down to sleep, you hold in your hands the chance to command it. Use that chance with awareness. Plant the right seeds. Feel as if you have already received. And then sleep in peace, because the invisible gardener will work for you. And when you wake up, don't be surprised if life starts to deliver to you exactly what you dared to believe, because the law never fails. and infinite intelligence never fails to respond. It is only waiting for you to take the first step, and that step begins today. Now, when you decide you will apply for 7 nights, the forgotten technique of Joseph Murphy, your new life is just one sleep away. If this message has moved you, leave your like now, subscribe to the channel, and allow this community to keep growing so that more people can awaken to the truth that can set them free. The next miracle can begin with a simple gesture: choosing to believe.